Hi everyone, it's Mary Beth from MBGrayDesigns. So in today's video, this is a beginner crochet video. So what we're going to do is I'm going to talk a little bit about yarn, talk a little bit about the labels on yarn, talk about crochet hooks, scissors, and some other things. And then we're just going to go over some basic stitches to get us started. I had posted on my community tab asking if anybody would be interested in learning crochet, and then also I'll be doing tutorials, obviously, and because I like to design crochet pieces. So this is my first video for that. So I hope you guys enjoy. All right, so the first thing is I want to talk a little bit about yarn. And by the way, if you've already crocheted and everything, this video may not be for you, but stay tuned because I will start going right into tutorials of some really nice pieces. So, but I hope you hang out. Anyway, all right. So yarn obviously comes in all different, weights and sizes, colors, feels, fibers, etc. So this is just a few, just to give you a little sample. So for example, this is called Caron Simply Soft Yarn, and it is soft. It's what we call, and I'm going to scooch down, and I hope my light's not casting too much, oh, wrong way, too much of a shadow, because it is snowing here, and now it's in the evening, so I'm hoping this is okay. But anyways, it's a medium weight yarn, which is always numbered with 4, by the way. And I'll show you one that's not 4 so you'll understand the difference. It'll talk about which knitting needles are good for this size yarn, as well as which crochet hook, size of crochet hook. So for this particular one, it's suggesting an H as in Howard, which is a 5mm hook. You don't have to do that. That's just the suggested hook. And so anyway, that's, you can or you don't have to, but typically I usually am right around that hook size. This tells you here it's 315 yards, which and it's 6 ounces, which is important to know because depending on what project you're making, if it's something where you need 900 yards, then you would need to get 3 of these, right? So that's why it's important to understand, or meters, 288 meters for those who are not in the US and go by the real number system. We're the goofy ones over here. Anyway, and color is called soft pink. Now, in comparison, this is Loops and Threads. It's a cozy wool yarn. It is only 90 yards, okay? And let's see. They suggest a 9mm hook. So remember, this was a 5mm hook. They suggest a 9, and I don't remember. Let's see, H-I-J. 6 is J. Hold on, let me see if I have a 9mm, just to show you the difference. I am not sure if I do. Let me look. Oh, that's an 11. That's a big one. This might be, well, this is an 8mm. So, anyway, it would be bigger than this, but that doesn't matter. As long as you know, they do tell you the suggested hook size so that you would know when you're buying it. Okay, and then this one, I don't know if I mentioned, but this one's 100% acrylic is the material that it's made out of. This one is 50% wool and 50% acrylic, okay? So there is a difference in fiber. This has some natural fiber in it. And then it'll always tell you like the washing instructions. So on this one, you would hand wash and dry flat, whereas 100% acrylic, I believe it's, you can throw it, machine washable and dryable, right? So this one is a really beautiful yarn, and it appears very thin. However, it is a 4, yes, medium weight. So let's pull the bulky one out of the way. So even though these are both considered 4, which they are, 4-ply medium weight yarns, I'm going to pull this up and see if you can see the difference. It does appear that this is a little thinner, right? And it's also 100% acrylic, just like this one. So it's amazing how what they can do with different yarns. This is Red Heart Unforgettable. It's very, very soft. It's a beautiful yarn to use for, you know, like a shawl or a scarf or, you know, anything like that. This particular color is called Stained Glass. Again, it's a 4-ply. Now, they suggest on this one to use a J hook, which is 6 millimeters. Remember, on this one, it was 5 millimeters, which is an H hook. Let's see. This is machine washable and dryable. What else do I want to tell you about this? I think that's it. But it is, let me double check. I'm pretty sure it's 100% acrylic. But let me double check that. Let's see. Like I'm 99.9% sure that it is. And for some reason, I'm not finding it on here, but I'm almost positive. So, like I'm pretty much, yes, it is. But anyway, so that's just a couple different. This is another one, and it's also by Red Heart, but it's called Soft Essentials, and it's also a 4 medium weight yarn. And again, if you look at, well, where's my end here? The difference, maybe I should pull different colors, some white. It even looks a little bit thicker, not really, but a little bit thicker than the pink, which is the Karen, the first one, and then this was the other one. So they're all considered 4, which is medium weight. This one suggests 5 millimeter, which is H size hook. This suggests J, which is a 6 millimeter size hook. And this one suggests also J, 6 millimeter. So that just gives you an idea of how to read the labels, okay? And again, the yardage is important, very important. This has 110 yards. This one, I don't even know, 270. And this one was 315, okay? So that just is a little overview of some yarn. Now, cotton yarn is another one. I have lots of cotton yarn. I just don't have any handy. But you would use cotton yarn anytime you're making something that, you know, could get wet, like a dishcloth, you know, or even a towel, a kitchen towel, or the toppers for a towel, or like I've made camisoles before that would be like a beach camisole to wear over your swimming suit. You know, you're going to be by the beach. It's going to get wet, you know. Well, I prefer cotton to use for that. A lot of times too, with baby clothes, I'll use cotton. But anyway, so there is that. Now let's talk about hooks a little bit, and then we'll get started on going over some basic stitches. So we already kind of talked about it. Let me pull out some that might be easier to read here on camera. Believe me, this is only a small sample. I'm a little crazy. Like this is D. Okay. So what it is, typically US goes by letters, and then the size, which is in millimeters, is I believe everywhere else. So like B, C, D, E, F, G, you know, but let me see if I have even smaller. I don't know if I have a C or a B. Let me just look real quick. Yeah, so that's a G. All right, so we'll just look at a few. So I don't happen to have a B handy or a C, but this is a D, which is 3 millimeters. I want to say, and I could be wrong, so don't quote me on this, that a C is 2.5 millimeters and a B is only 2 millimeters. And then, of course, even smaller than that is used for like crochet thread, which is really beautiful. You can make beautiful doilies and that sort of thing. But anyway, a D, to put it in perspective, there's the hook size right there. Okay, A, B, C, D. Let's see. Let's get you a good one here. Here's a G. I don't know if I have F or whatever, but this size is, oh God, it's hard to read. This is a 4 millimeter. So this was a 3. There's a 4. I know that the 5 millimeter, I thought I had it handy too. Let's see, just to give you a good comparison. Which one is this? Here we go. 5. And then this is a 6. Okay, so just to show you, let me face these all together. If you can kind of tell, I don't know. But like this was the smallest one, okay, was a 3. This is a 4. This is a 5 millimeter. So anyways, they're getting bigger. The bigger the millimeter, obviously the bigger. And in the US, we letter them typically. Not on all of them, but most of them we do. So like, for example, a Q Look how big the Q is. That's 15.75 millimeters. So you wouldn't use this hook on like a really fine yarn. Usually it's on a very bulky yarn. Usually this type of hook, would be good to make rugs and things like that. Okay. So hooks are fun. I have a lot. This is, I was looking for that. Isn't even my normal bag of hooks. They're packed with some of my yarn and I need to get them out. And I forgot I have these. I actually like the ones that have that handle because I get a blister otherwise on my fingers. So I've been switching over to like these. Clover is a good brand. There's all kinds of good brands. These I think are just Boyle or I'm not even sure. I can't remember. All right, so there's hooks. Put this one back. I think today I'm going to use, well, that's 5.5, yeah. All right, needles. So as you saw one fall out, this is a plastic yarn needle. Notice that the head of the needle is big, obviously, so you can get yarn in there. And it's not like a really sharp, I mean, it's a little sharp, but it's not like sharp like a normal needle, like a sewing needle. Okay. And then this is another set of needles. This is by Clover. And I'll show you these yarn needles. So very blunt end. So there's the needle. Notice the head of it is really big. And it's hard to tell, but it's a very, very like rounded blunt. Okay. And that's just to tie in our net ends and stuff. They just have different sizes. Because if you're crocheting with like embroidery, like crochet thread, you could use a really little one. But again, it's not sharp like a normal needle, Also darning needles, which I don't happen to have one and I love them. It's in my other bag. Would be a needle that goes like this and then it kind of bends out a little bit and it's easy to get in and out to tie ends, but you don't need to have that. You just need to have some type of needle where you can get the yarn through the hole of it, the eye of the needle, just to tie in ends. And that's usually at the very end of your project anyway. So that's not a big deal. You do not need to buy very much at all to get started with crocheting. And that's what's really nice. I'm a paper crafter, as most of my subscribers know. You know how expensive that is, right? Here, all you need is you do need a crochet hook. You need some yarn and some type of needle to tie in ends. That's it. So it's, you can go buy a skein of yarn, for a couple dollars, $3, a red heart or whatever, and get a crochet. You can get crochet hooks for a couple dollars also. You don't have to get the most expensive brand. And there you go. So if you want to learn, it's very inexpensive to learn and fun. And then you can decide if it's something you want to continue to pursue. All right, let's get moving with the fun stuff. So let's just talk about some stitches. So in crochet, there's, basic stitches. And there's going to be more than what I'm showing you right now. But I think to get started, you really just need to know a few basic stitches, okay? And you can practice with that. And there's actually patterns with only a few different types of stitches that make beautiful items. So let's get started. So with crochet, you're going to get your yarn. I chose to use this Caron Simply Soft because it's in pink and I love my pink. Anyway, we're going to do a slip knot. And that's just so we can, a starting point to put our hook in. So you have your yarn right here, right? And what I do is I just wrap it around my two fingers like that. And I cross over. So it's kind of like an X as it fell. Cross over like an X. Okay. And then I take these two fingers, go in, pull the tail, and then pull it up like that. Okay. And that's a slip knot. There are a lot of videos on that, That one took me a while when I first started, but once you do it, it's really easy. And oh, I should have mentioned, I'm sorry, I'm just going too fast here. So you got your slip knot, and what that does is when you pull this tail, it'll cinch it up as tight as you want. If you pull it all the way, it undoes it. So let's just do it again. So I wrap around these two fingers, cross over, okay? I take these two, my thumb and my, what is this finger called? Index finger. And I go through this hole and grab that tail that I put over to make the X. And I pull it through the loop. But then you want to get a hold of that tail down here. And you just pull, pull like that. Okay? That'll give you a slip knot. And then what you do to make it smaller is you pull on the loose end. and pull it up like that. And then you can stick your crochet hook right in the middle, and then you just pull on it to tighten it up. Now, don't tight it. Don't like make it super tight. You know, you want to have a little bit of give. You don't want it super, super duper tight. One thing I want to mention, there's a thing called tension when you crochet or probably knit too. I'm not a knitter, but don't worry about that too much. I think the more you do it, you'll kind of find your own. It's important to try to be consistent. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. All right. So we've got our hook on. We got the yarn on the hook. Yay, that's awesome. All right, we're done. No, just kidding. Anyway, all right. So to hold your yarn, you're going to have to find the way that works for you. That's comfortable for you. That's all I can tell you. By the way, this is right-handed crochet. I apologize that I do not know how to do left-handed crochet. So I am really sorry for that, but I know there's a lot of videos out there. All right. So the way that I hold mine is I take my pinky, put it through between my pinky and my ring finger. Oh, now I'm not going to be. Yeah, pinky and ring finger, and then over my forefinger like that. Okay? So that's how I hold mine. You will find your own way. Okay? So, and that way I kind of will control my tension a little bit. All right? So that's what I do. Okay, so I've got my yarn right here in front of my forefinger. I got my hook. Yarn's on the hook. We're going to chain. Okay? So to chain, all you do, I'm going to scooch down a little bit. I want this to be real close so that you guys can see hopefully really good. All right, so you're going to take your hook and you're going to go around the yarn. That's called yarning over, by the way. See where I go under the yarn and kind of pull it like that? That's yarn over. And then you're going to make sure to turn the head of your hook so that you're pulling. I'm not even in frame. Let's do it again. Sorry. Take your hook. Go like that. That's yarning over. And then you want to pull that yarn through the slip knot that we attached our hook on. And that is a chain. So we're going to do it again. Okay? So you take your, now remember, this is my string right here, yarn, connected to the ball. Okay? This is connected to the skein of yarn. This is just my tail over here on the right. Just ignore that. So you take your hook, okay, yarn over, and pull through the loop that is now on your hook. And now you have a new loop on your hook. Okay, yarn over, pull through. I'm hoping that this angle is okay for you. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, whoops, pull through the loop on your hook. Okay, yarn over, pull through the loop on your hook. Okay, and what's happening as we do that is this is called, it looks like a chain. Okay, that's what we have. And each one of these is its own chain, right? So we did 1, 2, 3, 4, I have to count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've done 6 chains. Let's just do 10. Okay, so that's 6 chains. There's 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, now that's what a chain looks like. Now, pretty much every time, not maybe every time, but most of the time, you will start with a chain. It could be 100, it could be a 30, it could be whatever the pattern calls for. Okay, we're just going to do a sample here just to get going. So there's only 10 chains. All right, so we want to, the next thing we're going to do is what we call a single crochet. All right, so what I first want to point out is if you notice on these chains, they look like little V's, right? Do you see that? Little V, little V. They're little V's all the way down. I have 10 of them. So to single crochet, I'm not going to, you never count this loop that is on your hook. Never, ever, ever. Don't count that. So if I say single crochet in the second chain from the hook, you do not count that as your first chain. Your first chain is right there. Okay, so 1, 2. All right, so let's single crochet in the second chain from the hook. So to single crochet, see this V? I'm going to go through that top part of the V right here. Okay, so I'm going to put my hook right through there. like that. I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to pull through that first loop, and notice I have 2 loops on my hook. Okay, I'm going to yarn over again, and I'm going to pull through both. That's a single crochet. We'll do it again. So in the next V, the top part of that V, I'm going to put my hook through. I'm going to yarn over, pull through. I have 2 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to pull through both. Okay? Let's do it again. Go through your next chain stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both on your hook. Okay? So I'm going to just really quickly single crochet down the end here to the end, and then we'll move on to another stitch. So, you know, chain up a bunch, go back, start single crocheting, and you will get the feel of it. And it may take a minute, you know, be patient with yourself, for real. Be patient, be kind to yourself, and it'll come to you. And it's very relaxing. You can sit around, watch TV, you know, do all kinds of things. All right. So now I want to show you, the next stitch I'm going to show you is what we call a double crochet. So we just did a single, which this is what it looks like. Okay. And now we're going to do a double. So the way to do a double, and I want to point out, let me show you something real quick here. Get something that's a good, oh, I'll use my Tim Holtz Pokey tool. See, I'm mixing crafting and crocheting together. Isn't that fun? All right. So on top, here's our V's from the single crochet. Okay. V, 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 V. Okay. That's important because those are your stitches. Now that's the top of the single crochet. So let me just get my yarn ready here. All right. So to do a double crochet, we're going to yarn over first. Remember with single crochet, we just went in. We didn't yarn over first. So with double, we're going to yarn over first. And then we're going to go into that first stitch, and there's a V. I'm going to pull through it. You go through the whole thing. Let's see. Let me show you better here. Give me a second. Okay. This stitch right here, there's a V, if you can see that. I hope the light is working properly for me. You're going to put your hook through the top and bottom part of that V. Okay? That's going through your full stitch, okay, of the single crochet. So you'll yarn over, you'll go through your first single crochet, okay, and then you're going to yarn over again. Then you're going to pull through, and you will have 3 loops on your hook. 1, 2, 3. Yarn over, and you're going to pull through the first 2. That'll leave 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through the final 2, and that is a double crochet. Let's do it again. So to start the double crochet, yarn over, go through your stitch, yarn over, pull that loop through. You have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. Okay? Yarn over, go through the stitch, yarn over, pull up that loop. You have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. Okay? So remember, with a single crochet, we didn't yarn over first. That was the difference. I'll do one now. So the single crochet, we just went into the stitch, we yarned over, and we pulled through our stitch, and we had 2 loops on our hook. Okay? And then we yarned over and went through it one time because there were 2 loops on our hooks. One time, single crochet. To double crochet, we're going to yarn over first, go through the stitch, pull your loop through. We have 3 loops on our hook. Yarn over, you'll go through the first 2, that's 1 time. You'll go through the second 2, that's 2 times. Double 2. That's the way I would remember it. single, one. So I don't know if that helps you or not, but with a triple, it's the same concept. You're just building it more. So instead of just yarning over once, we're going to yarn over twice. So, whoa, my yarn went crazy there. So once, twice. Then you're going to go through the stitch, pull your loop up, and now you have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over once, yarn over, pull through the first 2. You have 3 on your hook. Yarn over, pull through the next 2. You have 2 left on your hook. Yarn over, pull through that. So it took 3 times to do that. Triple crochet, 3 triple. Also, they call it a treble. If you ever see that, treble crochet and triple crochet are the same thing. So double, we did it twice. Triple, we do it 3 times. Single, we only do it once. So I hope that that helps, okay? So what we've learned today is quite a bit. Actually, we talked about yarn. We talked about hooks and needles. But I want you to practice chaining. First, doing your slip knot to get your hook on. Do some chaining. Just chain, chain, chain. Watch some TV. Do some single crochets, some double crochets, some triple crochets. And I got to tell you, I'm working on an awesome shawl right now where the only stitches that you need to know would be chaining, double, trying to think what else is in there. Double, like that's it. There's not much in there at all. So, and it's gorgeous. It is not my design, and I am going to do a tutorial on it for you guys here coming up hopefully very soon. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If the view wasn't that great, I do apologize. I will be working on adjusting to make it easier for my crocheting tutorials versus my paper crafting because it is a little bit different. So hope you guys enjoyed that, and we'll talk to everybody soon. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.